Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Tuesday, September 18th, 2012. This is Texan TV News from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Jessica Lee. In today's headlines, SMU's Rick Halperin delivers the first speaker symposium of the year. A Texas man is killed in road rage shooting. 5 are left dead after a small plane crash in Missouri. Anti-Muslim film protests continue to rage across the Middle East, as well as today's sports and weather. Now on today's top story, Tarleton hosted its first speaker symposium of the year last night at 7:30 p.m. with honored guest, Southern Methodist University professor and human rights activist Dr. Rick Halperin. Lecture Room 116 in the OA Grant building was nearly full with students and faculty awaiting Dr. Halperin to begin his lecture on the death penalty in America. Among many topics, Halperin revealed statistics about the history of the death penalty, showed pictures of various execution methods in America, and revealed the various prices certain states pay in order to enforce the death penalty. At the end of the lecture, students were offered the floor in order to ask questions, and a few free gifts were also offered to the students before the reception. In Stephenville news, Ashley Gill, president of the Pistol Annies, one of the two teams that make up the Cowboy Capital Roller Girls, said that both teams are really excited because it is a huge event in the history of the league. During the bout, the Roller Girls will host a diaper drive in order to support their Spotlight charity, the Cross Timbers Pregnancy Care Center. Fans will have the chance to donate baby items to the charity when the doors open at 5 p.m. at the Lone Star Arena. Don't miss the Bolt Action Betties face off with the Dallas Derby Devils this Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Lone Star Arena. And now, today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, authorities say a woman pulled into a nearby gas station after a Monday morning road rage accident in Harris County in southeast Texas, where the man involved in the accident with her began beating on the woman's window. She then shot the man, who was pronounced dead on the scene. The woman had a concealed weapons permit, and the incident is still under investigation. In national news, a small plane crash in Springfield, Missouri, left a pilot, his 3 children, and a businesswoman dead. Those killed were identified as Robin Melton, John Lambert and his children, Joshua Lambert, McKinley Lambert, and Grayson Lambert. The Missouri State Highway spokesman said that the plane crashed around 12:30 a.m. Monday morning about 5 miles away from the Springfield Airport, just northwest of the town of Willard. Keith Holloway, a spokesman for the National Transportation Safety Board, said no details about the investigation could be released at this time, but preliminary reports may be available within 2 weeks. In international news, there have been several protests and reactions across the Middle East in response to anti-Muslim film produced in the U.S. ridiculing the Prophet Muhammad. In Pakistan, hundreds of protesters against the film torched a press club and a government building in the northwestern town of Wari. In Afghanistan, outside of military base in Kabul, 800 protesters burned cars and threw rocks outside of Camp Phoenix. Police fired guns into the air in hopes to hold the crowd back and away from downtown government buildings. 20 officers were slightly injured, mostly due to rocks. Crowds managed to pass through a thoroughfare into Kabul, where demonstrators burned a shipping container, tires, and at least one police vehicle before dispersing. Several other incidents have been reported in Indonesia, Iran, Egypt, Lebanon, and the West Bank. In sports, the Texas Rangers, with a record of 87-59, are leading the AL West by 3 games over the Oakland A's. The Rangers are in a 3-game series with the Seattle Mariners, who have split the series at 1-1, with the last game being held tonight. The Dallas Cowboys are coming off a 27-7 loss to the Seattle Seahawks, bringing their record to 1-1. They play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday at home. The Houston Texans come home with a win over the Jacksonville Jaguars 27-7, making them 2-0. Their next match-up is Sunday with the Denver Broncos at Mile High Stadium in Denver. In weather, today's forecast calls for a high of 75 degrees and a low of 54, with a 30% chance of precipitation. Tomorrow we'll see highs of reaching 79 degrees with a low of 59 degrees. Today's broadcast was produced by Mallory, Erica Calhoun, and Winston Quessenberry. You can follow us on ustream.tv/user/Texan News Service. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook.